my name is Alexis Stratman, and I'm a freshman at UWL, and I'm majoring in elementary and middle education. The thing that's most exciting for me about being an RA is making new friends. A lot of the friends that I've made over this last semester are going to be living off campus next year, so that is really sad, but it also gets me really excited that I'll have to branch out and meet more people that I might not have met if I wasn't an RA, and whether that's the staff that I'll be working with or the residents in my hall. I'm just excited to live on campus another year and get to know people outside of my class. So my parents both went to UW La Crosse, and my mom was actually an RA where I live right now in Angel, and that was in 1994 through 1996. She was an RA in Angel and Wentz, and the relationship she's made from just being on that leadership role in the hall really showed me that you can have lifelong friendships that start in college and in those roles of an RA or other leadership roles she had on campus. I just remember going to UW La Crosse growing up and seeing the amazing connections that my parents had at different alumni events or just walking around campus. And that really excited me because when my mom was an RA, she was friends with Corey Shoquist and they were RAs together. He's now the assistant vice chancellor for admissions, which is crazy. It's like, where will your friends that you're with now end up as future leadership roles in La Crosse to this day? And seeing her have such strong connections from her RA position really gets me excited to be an RA and see what friendships and just connections that I can make that will last a lifetime. I'm not only excited to make my own friends, but to help people make friends. I remember how scared I was only a couple months ago for my first semester of college and going into school not knowing anyone besides my roommate, whom I've talked to a couple times on Snapchat, and I'm just really hoping that as an RA that I can show the residents that I live with that it's not as scary as they may think, and they can get through it and have people by their side that have gone through it before and understand how to kind of balance your schedule and mediate between school and friends and sports and different things that you want to get involved in. I love being busy and organizing my time well. I've been going to the tennis club at UWL that meets about 2 times a week, and that has been really fun to get to know people with different ages and genders and whatnot, and that was just really fun to connect with people by doing something that I love to do. I have also been going to Crew on Thursdays and my Bible study on Wednesday nights. It was so scary going into that, not knowing many people and worried if I would feel included or belonged, but it was crazy after like 2 or 3 weeks how people started already knowing my name, and the people in those leadership positions just really made me feel seen. I want to be RA just like those people that I met that really made me feel like I was actually a part of something at La Crosse. Luke did an excellent job at doing this. He is a junior RA in Angel Hall, and he's one of the leaders at my Bible study, and it was just so nice to hear from him, knowing my name after a couple weeks and just calling me out and making sure that my weeks have been good and kind of teaching me what's so good about being at La Crosse. Once I found out that he was an RA, I really worked to try and, ask him questions and stuff and see what was best for me. And I really wanted to be an RA, and he helped me to kind of know what you'll be required of as an RA and what the benefits are and what's kind of fun and what's difficult and all the different aspects of that role. And he said that that would be a great opportunity for me, and he thought it would be really fun. So I decided to give it a go, and I got that little push of confidence that was really helpful from him. A couple months ago, I also talked with my RA, Paige, and just kind of wanted to be on top of, the deadlines and wanting to know what I am signing up for and how I can do that in the best way I can. And she was really helpful in sharing what she's experienced in the last 2 years of her being an RA and what I can expect, and again, the benefits and the hard parts, and why it overall is really helpful to bond the community of lacrosse and help people get involved and feel included through different communities and where they're going to be living the next year. I want others in the future to feel how I felt my first semester. I was really scared, but once I met these people in these leadership positions, I felt like it was actually my school and not just a school I was going to. And once I kind of met those people and they talked to me and called me by my name and all those things, it really encouraged me to want to do the same to others next year, because that was so tremendously helpful to feel seen and known in my freshman year of college. It just excites me that I'll be able to prepare not only as a person to help include other people while struggling, but also in my future career as a teacher, that I will need to work on my ability to include and seek people. I've always been around people that are struggling with mental health, whether it's my family or friends, and I want to be able to help people that really do struggle with new things and being in environments that they aren't used to without people that they trust and love. And I will make sure that my future residents will feel like they can talk to me and it'll stay to me, it won't spread to other people. And I know how much anxiety comes along with going into college and how that affects different peoples and hits people at different times of the semester or year. And I just want them to know that I'm here to talk anytime they need, and I'm a good resource to get good information. I find myself able to get more done when I'm busy and organize myself well. That's why I have been involved in things on campus, and I will continue to do so. And that just excites me even more to have encourage others to do that. I'll support residents through their growth of understanding inclusion by being a good role model. I understand that the residents are dependent on my performance as an RA, so I will continue to not take part of off-campus partying or drinking, and that's just my own choice. I really don't mind. I have friends that do that, and they're doing just fine in college. I just personally haven't found that being very fulfilling. I just hope that can show others like me that there's other stuff to do on campus than choosing to drink or party all the time. I found it hard walking into the school in the first week, trying to find people that like to stay in and like to do things like I did, and I just want to be an RA that will help people like me that tend to stay in and just do other fun things, be able to do that, and that they will have events and opportunities to show their strengths in other ways. I will create the events that I plan to be inclusive and intriguing to many different people groups, so that we have different people coming to each event. I wouldn't want to put on the same types of events that just bring the same kind of people together, but instead have different crafts or activities or shows or whatever that will bring people together that may not know each other or that are different from one another, and that will get them to get to know each other and bond as a whole. That is one thing I wish I did more of, is go to those RA events. I would constantly go to the Dancing with the Stars event. That was every Tuesday to watch that, and it was so fun to go with my friends, and I bonded with people that I didn't even know and that also just loved the show, and we would talk about different people on the show or dances, and that was really fun to meet more people that I never thought I would meet. I have learned how to be in a leadership role from high school. I took a leadership academy course that was through my school in order to be a captain of my varsity softball team. So I took that course, and it really just taught me how to be a good leader, what good leaders look like, and the different types of leading that people have depending on your role as that leader or your personality type or different things like that. I had a lot of fun my junior and senior year being a captain on my softball team at my school, because it taught me a lot of values and how to bond people together. Your role as a captain isn't necessarily the coach's role to correct and be strict, but instead it's to encourage and have the teammates come together. And I see a lot of reflections in that as an RA as well, is it's to discipline when needed, but also to encourage and uplift and get to know the people that are gonna be bonded by the end of the year. Another thing I want to be really intentional about is using people's names. As I mentioned before, Luke has been a really good example for me on how I want to be an RA and get to know people for who they are and not just the name tag on their door, but I want to use their names when I say hi and talk to them, and not just be another face in my cube or row, but a person that I know and that I'm just another classmate of theirs. I'm not in this big teacher-student role. It's me and you, we know each other. We're both students, and they can feel comfortable and close around me, and not just another person to be scared of or be careful of when they're walking around campus. Through my church and school, I've been on a bunch of different missions projects to places around the world like Guatemala or the DR, and that has helped me to understand how to work with and collaborate other cultures together in different belief systems and languages, and learning that the thing that really bonds us together is love. And even though we might not speak the same language, we can still encourage and love one another through our actions. I hope that the residents will see my goals in this to bond us through love and encouragement, and that will allow them to live in an environment that is both welcoming, encouraging, and allows them to grow as an individual and a student at UWL. There is so much to balance as a freshman especially, but each year of your college years, I know that getting into the school, being away from home, keeping up with classes and meals and your laundry are all hard things that I've heard my friends have been struggling with figuring out. So I just hope that this role will be helpful for those in the future, that I can be a light to them and show them how to successfully complete your freshman year and college as a whole. Thank you again for taking time to watch this video application from me to be an RA. I'm really excited for this opportunity and excited to see where this takes me as far as being at La Crosse and my leadership journey there. Thank you.